much money do you really need to retire in the United States? A quick Google search might show you a number close to $1 million being enough. What if I told you that's not correct? What makes me say that Google, of all things, has incorrect info? Keep watching and I'll break down everything that you need to know. Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Fiend. I'm your host, Lise Garcia, your friend in finance. And today we're going to be discussing one of the most important questions when it comes to your financial future. How much money do you really need to retire in the United States? I'll be breaking down all the key factors that you need to consider, list out your variable factors that people seem to miss, and give you a clear picture of what it takes for you to be able to retire comfortably. So let's get started. Forget the $1 million figure you might see online. This is truly just a starting point. Retirement planning is very personal. It depends on the lifestyle you envision. Do you dream of traveling the world, living by the beach, or pursuing hobbies? These aspirations will significantly impact your financial needs in the future. So consider your desired lifestyle, your cost of living where you plan to retire, your travel aspirations, and really any other personal goals you may have for your golden years. Well, Lise, this is all too complex for me. Why can't I follow some simple rules of thumb? Sure. There are common rules like the 70-80% rule, which suggests you'll need about 70-80% of your pre-retirement income to maintain your lifestyle. While this provides a starting point, it doesn't consider everyone's individual circumstances. 70-80% of my pre-retirement income? What could that even mean? So this still leaves us with a very vague figure in mind. Let's talk about a much more specific approach, which is called the 4% rule. This popular guideline determines how much you can actually withdraw from your savings post-retirement. So to put it simply, you withdraw 4% of your total savings each year that you're in retirement. Then you adjust the amount for inflation. This approach aims to make your savings last about 30 years. So for example, let's say you have $1 million saved up. What most people do is withdraw 4% of that in the first year, which is $40,000. Now, let's say the inflation rate is at 6% for the year. They withdraw $40,000 and an additional 6%, which ends up being $42,400. It makes perfect sense, right? Well, here's the challenge. If inflation is at 6% for the year, even though you have your $40,000, that money's not going to buy you the same things next year. It's almost like everything got a 6% price increase. So how do we actually account for inflation? We can't just add a flat 6% extra to our initial withdrawal. It doesn't even have the same value anymore. So instead, we need to consider the impact of inflation on our entire savings. Think of it like this. If inflation is 6%, then in 1 year, your $1 million will effectively buy 6% less stuff. To maintain your purchasing power, we need to withdraw enough to cover both your original living expenses, $40,000, and the inflation tax, your loss of buying power. So let's do the math. 6% of your $1 million is $60,000. And this is how much additional you'd want to withdraw just to keep up with inflation. Now here's the key part. And add this inflation adjustment to your planned withdrawal. So $40,000 of your original living expenses plus $60,000 for your inflation adjustment, which means that by withdrawing $100,000 in the second year, you're essentially taking out the same real amount of money as the $40,000 in the first year, even though the number is bigger. This helps you stay ahead of inflation and maintain your standard of living instead of giving you a $2,000 increase year after year, wondering why you don't have enough money to survive. Well, now you should be able to come up with a dollar amount that you'd need to retire, right? Well, we're getting closer. Here's a list of things that you need to add on top of what you already had in mind. Healthcare is one of the biggest expenses retirees face. According to Fidelity's most recent estimate in June 2023, an average retired couple aged 65 may need to have saved $315,000 solely to cover healthcare costs throughout their retirement. These costs include premiums, out-of-pocket expenses, and other medical expenses. Additionally, we must take Social Security and other income sources into account. While Social Security benefits can help cover a portion of your retirement expenses, it is important to consider the most recent average benefit amount to get a better picture. What Social Security is today may not be what it is tomorrow. So you'll also want to consider other savings, pensions, and investments to ensure a secure retirement. So let's get to the chase. How much do you actually need to retire in the United States? Again, the ideal amount varies. However, on average, you might need somewhere between $900,000 and $1.2 million to comfortably retire for 30 years. And remember, this is a ballpark figure. Where you choose to retire also plays a vital role. Living in Hawaii will require more money than retiring in West Virginia due to different costs of living. All right, I get what you might be thinking. That is a significant amount of money to have saved up. Saving this amount can seem daunting, but there are steps that you can take to reach your goals. First, start early. The power of compound interest is significant. The earlier you start saving, the more money grows over time. You utilize retirement accounts like 401ks and IRAs, which offer tax advantages on your retirement savings. Don't miss out on free money. If your employer offers a matching contribution on your retirement savings, take full advantage of it. Diversification is key. Spread your investments across different asset classes like stocks, bonds, and real estate to manage risk and growth potential. Finally, track your progress. Utilize retirement savings calculators to set goals and monitor your progress. Planning for retirement is highly personal. You need to understand your goals, consider tools like the 4% rule, factor in healthcare costs, leverage Social Security while we can, and set realistic savings targets. Most importantly, start planning as early as possible and stay informed. Found this video helpful? Hit that like button and subscribe for more financial tips. Have questions or specific topics you'd like us to cover? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.